Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. On tonight's show, a campaign group hopes to improve infrequent rail services to Briggs Station. And a welfare centre devastated by the tidal surge gets back on its feet. Emma Lingard comes into the studio to talk about a local mystery. And Tom Reed looks ahead at the weekend sport. But first, here's Erica Barker with the news headlines.
Hello, the headlines today. Lines of investigation continue after the murder of a Hull man and house prices in Yorkshire and the Humber fall. But first, health managers in East Yorkshire say they're gearing up for what is set to be the biggest ever inspection of local hospitals. Starting next week, the Care Quality Commission will begin a 2-week inspection of services delivered at Hull Royal Infirmary and Castle Hill Hospital. During the visit, a team of up to 55 inspectors will look at 8 core areas, including maternity, critical care and elder people services, to determine whether they're providing safe, effective care. Detectives investigating the murder of a 51-year-old Hull man, Keith Estuary, are now appealing for the public's help. They want to speak to anyone who saw a person with a large black hold-all bag in the area between Midmere Avenue and Warren Road on Friday the 24th and Saturday the 25th of January. A 40-year-old man has now been charged with the murder, but Humberside police say lines of investigation continue. House prices in Yorkshire and the Humber have fallen, with a 1.2% drop, leaving the typical price at around £116,000. According to Land Registry figures, London house prices leapt by 11.2% over 2013, an increase that is more than double the national average. North East Lincolnshire Council is asking people for their views on proposals to improve and preserve Cleethorpes Central Seafront Conservation Area as they bid to secure more than £1 million in grant funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund. Plans will be on display at Cleethorpes Library from the 4th of February. Work gets underway to repair flood damage at Immingham Seafarers Mission in the wake of the tidal surge described as the worst in 60 years. It's thought to have caused an estimated £40 million worth of damage and lost business on the docks, affecting the shop, library and internet cafe used by hundreds of people when they dock at the port. But despite this, they're working to maintain business as usual.
ABP have very kindly given us a porta cabin outside the building. We have staff in there that are providing hot drinks for the seafarers that come in. We can provide Wi-Fi free of charge, just asking for a donation, and we can still supply the top-up cards that they have so that they can phone home.
Councils and social landlords in the region are urging people to report tenancy fraud. The Yorkshire and Humberside Tenancy Fraud Forum worked to tackle the issue, ranging from council tenants swapping homes without consent to tenants letting out a property without permission. Posters highlighting the problem will be placed in a range of locations, including community centres. Some council bin men are taking bribes to dispose of business waste. That's according to the company Business Waste Management Solutions. They're calling on council authorities to take steps to crack down on the crime, saying people will often find a way around disposing of waste correctly if they can do so for a cheaper price. With Hull named as City of Culture 2017, a new website has been launched hoping to promote what the Humber region has to offer. Funded by Arts Council England, joinupthehumber.co.uk sees a group of 18 local council-operated visitor attractions coming together at the click of a mouse, aiming to be a one-stop shop for planning days out at museums, galleries and exhibitions. In other news, 2 used car dealers have recently been found guilty of misleading consumers following 2 separate investigations by Hull Trading Standards. Both cases involved them failing to tell customers that the vehicles had previously been written off by insurance companies. Dishad Ahmed Amin of Springbank pleaded guilty at Hull Magistrates Court to 6 counts of operating contrary to the consumer protection regulations, and Kashif Amjad of Witham pleaded guilty to 9 charges. Both were ordered to pay fines and costs. And do you recognise this purse? It was bought in a junk shop in Scotland by a man from Ireland, but was originally bought in Great Yarmouth. Inside the purse was a dog licence belonging to a man from Grimsby. The items were sent to Estuary by John Curry, who hopes they can be reunited with relatives of the owner. The name on the dog licence is a Harry Clixby, and the address was Chapman Road, which is no longer standing. Anyone who may have known the family in the 1940s, then please contact us at Estuary. And that's all from me. Until next time.
Thanks, Erica. Brigg train station was once an essential part of the local line, but in recent years services have become more and more infrequent. As a result, a number of interested parties have formed a campaign group to try and increase the number of trains going through the station. Reporter Emma Lingard went to find out more.
Unless you live here, many outsiders may not know Brigg has a railway station, and it's for that reason and others people met to find a way to increase the service, which currently only operates on a Saturday.
I think public transport is very vital for any community, especially something like Brigg, which is dependent on people coming in and using the facilities and services and the wonderful facilities that we have here in the town.
There's been a station here since 1848, but over the years the service and facilities has decreased.
One of the issues we picked up here today is the station facilities. We have an issue with antisocial behaviour, with graffiti. We could work better to improve the station here. But it's not just about Northern Rail putting funds in, it's about all the different elements of the railway industry, whether it's Network Rail who own the lines, the tracks, whether it's the local councils and community groups and other people like that. It's all about working together to deliver improvements for the future.
Now the consultation moves forward to see if Brigg can be brought back on track.
Well, we're living in difficult financial and economic times, but I think there is an incredible pressure now to upgrade and to see the promotion of Brigg Station, and I'm hopeful that as a result of meetings such as this, which are taking place not only in Brigg but also down the line in Gainsborough and other stations, I'm hopeful that we will see some progress made.
Thanks, Emma. The tidal surge last year was one of the biggest disasters to hit our area for decades. Flooding hit homes and business premises across the region, and one of the many victims was Immingham's Seafarers Mission. The charity aims to help ordinary people from all over the world who work on ships coming into the port, but they've only been able to offer a very limited service since they moved into a porter cabin because of damage to their base. Although things are starting to look up. Emma Lingard went to find out more.
This is the Seafarers Mission on Immingham Docks following the clean-up after the tidal surge which flooded the area. Staff are waiting for work to begin to make the building fit for purpose, but memories of that night in December still haunt them.
Horrific, devastating, upsetting. You didn't know where to start. We've got various different rooms. There's the bar, the shop, even the fish pond with little bodies dead in the bar area and wherever they managed to float to. Games room, a couple of leather settees, they're being floated around the building. Just everything was ruined and moved, and obviously you just couldn't believe the power of the water, things that you wouldn't have thought would have been moved.
The centre acts as a lifeline for international seamen, but service is currently limited.
But ABP are very kindly given us a porter cabin outside the building. We have staff in there that are providing hot drinks for the seafarers that come in. We can provide Wi-Fi free of charge, just asking for a donation, and we can still supply the top-up cards that they have so that they can phone home. Nothing else is available. We can't do food that we did on a daily basis, nothing from shop area, nothing to sell, and we're just hoping we can get it back together as soon as we can.
Ros is very optimistic about the future despite this setback and is looking forward rather than back.
Really, we were lucky when you think about it. Nobody wasn't a home, nobody's lost life or anything like that, which so many tragedies do. You know, it is a charity centre that we provide a service for, which we can't do the service at the moment, but it is just a building. All possessions can be replaced, people can't.
Now, I've also got Emma Lingard as my guest here in the studio today. Emma's well known for her Lincolnshire rambles and interest in local heritage. So I've challenged her to get to the bottom of a bit of a local mystery that's come into the office. Hello, Emma, thank you.
Hello, I'm intrigued.
So, we received an email back in December from a local, well, not a local man, a man called John Carey.
Okay.
I'll read out the email that he's sent us. A small item of interest. Some time ago, I purchased at a street market in Bountry, County Cork, Ireland, a small leather lady's purse with the words, "A present from Great Yarmouth." You can probably see the purse here, and the words you can barely make out, but I assure you they are there. On examination, I found a tear on the inside lining. I'll go into a little bit of detail here, but
Do you find gold coins in it? Is this what you're going to send me to the end of the rainbow?
unfortunately, if he did, he didn't send them here. But he did find another little treasure inside.
Ah.
When he's opened the lining of the purse, he's found inside the lining this small little piece here. This little slip of paper is actually a dog licence from 1940.
Okay,
I don't know if you want to have a look there.
we have a look then. Dog licence, 7 shillings and 6pence. Harry Clixby of 114 Chapman Street, Grimsby.
Do you know Chapman Street?
Chapman Street sadly no longer exists in the town. It used to be on the West Marsh, just off Corporation Road, in the area between Corporation Road and Adam Smith Street.
Oh.
In the area where you've got a rather large car dealership with
Okay.
numerous car dealers there.
Do you know Harry Clixby?
No, I
Not
don't
quite-
know
not quite
Harry
that old yet,
Clixby. No, you cheeky monkey. But yeah, Chapman Street doesn't stand anymore. There was supposedly, I believe, a large Scandinavian church in that vicinity. So is my challenge, what is my challenge then?
Find out a little bit more, because Mr. Carey's been kind enough to send it to us in the hope that we might be able to perhaps reunite it with a member of his family or something along those lines. But anyway, I'll leave that with you, Emma, and we'll report on that again.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in today. Now we have Tom Reed with a look ahead at this weekend's sporting fixtures.
Hull City lost 1-0 away to Crystal Palace on Tuesday. On Saturday, Tottenham are the visitors to the KC Stadium, with the Tigers crowd hoping that their £14 million strike duo, Nikita Jelavic and Shane Long, can begin to justify their transfer fees. Scunthorpe drew 0-0 at home to Fleetwood Town on Monday, thanks to Sam Slocum, who saved a Stephen Schumacher penalty on his 100th appearance for the club. Next up for the Iron is a trip to Hartlepool. In the Skrill Premier, Lincoln play Halifax, with Gary Simpson looking for his Imps side to get back to winning ways against a side that defeated them 5-1 at the Shea in December. Grimsby are in FA Trophy action at Blundell Park against Tamworth in buoyant mood, having beaten Cambridge 2-1 earlier this week, who had previously won all 12 of their home games. North Ferriby host Gosport Borough, hoping to progress further in the competition after a handsome 4-0 win against Sincil Bank against Lincoln in the last round. After both their home games last week were postponed, Grimsby Borough and Cleethorpes Town travel to Clipston and host Shirebrook Town respectively in the Toolstation Northern Counties East League Division 1. Curtis Woodhouse begins his tenure as Goal manager with a trip to Colville in the Evo Stick NPL First Division South. At the Hawthorns, Brigface Market Drayton looking to complete a double, having defeated them 4-2 earlier in the season. Lee Fieldens Barnaby side travelled to Crosby Colts in the TSW Printers Scunthorpe and District Football League, whose solitary win came against the same opponents. In ice hockey, Hull Stingrays host Fife Flyers. In Rugby Midlands 1, Market Raisin and Louth travel to face Peterborough First, and in Midlands 3, Grimsby host Ayleston St James at the Pavilion. Desperate to eradicate last week's humiliation against Ashby, while Rugby Lions lie in wait for Cleethorpes. And finally, in lacrosse, bragging rights are at stake as Hull play host to Lincoln, with the home side already having the edge, having won 19-11 earlier in the campaign.
Thanks, Tom. We'll look forward to some of those. Now, don't forget that if you know of any local stories or issues, you can get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, on Facebook or Twitter at Estuary TV, or email us on news@estuary.tv. That's all from us today. We'll see you next time.